What's up, guys? Welcome to Chasing Projects. I'm Jeff, and this is your SoCal fishing forecast for Thursday, June 29th, coming into 4th of July weekend here. Happy birthday, America. We appreciate you. And we finally got some proper summer conditions here to celebrate. A little bit of cloud cover just in the morning here, but I can tell you the last 4 or 5 days is burned off by about 9 o'clock. So nothing crazy, and as you can tell, we start heading into this little bit of a heat wave here coming into the weekend. That cloud cover is pretty much going to dissipate almost 100%. So we'll see what happens with that. But further down south, we have our first named storm of the year, Adrian. Looks like it's going to be a Category 1, and we have another one right behind it. One breeds another typically, but give you the full spectrum here just to see where this thing goes. But as of right now, not gonna really have a great impact on our area. This is Saturday here, so Adrian takes a hard turn left. Not going to be a swell producer for us. This is really like the edge of the swell window right here anyway, so it's gonna head more left and fizzle out. And the second storm, which looks to be smaller, is gonna fizzle out before it even gets to Cabo by Monday. So nothing too crazy in general going on with that stuff, but finally it looks like we have a proper season here for home. So let's drop a pin here and take a look at our current wind. So Thursday, we have a little bit of wind here on the outside, but generally speaking, that wind that was forecasted of those 5 or 6 days is supposed to be pretty nasty. It was nasty for about 2, which is pretty good. So that trend has been falling off, and as we head into the weekend, things look progressively better. Just a little bit of wind on the outside, but so far nothing over 15 knots, and looks like it's going to be a pretty nice weekend. So there's going to be a lot of people in the water. You already know it's the first real nice weekend we've had out there, and yeah, so hopefully you get to celebrate. But have a little patience at the bait dock, and expect islands like Catalina to be very, very busy around the holiday as well. So, well, yeah, there's Monday for you, and heading into Tuesday, pretty much the same deal. So, nothing too shocking in the forecast now, but as always, make sure you check your latest marine conditions before you head out. And let's start looking at this chart here. We have a proper summertime chart, and it's not even blocked by clouds. It's pretty nice. This red hotspot you're looking at here is 70-degree water, and this is an 8-day chart. Fortunately, the 3-day was just a little bit too blotchy, but same story. So we're going to go with the 8-day just for the sake of looking good here. And this is our chlorophyll chart. Lots of blue water, a little bit of this green hanging off here, but that's not going to hurt much. That's just fine. But I do like these nice sharp edges. These always look really good, and I like this little one that's puffing out here too from that wind that blew through. So this should keep stuff in this area for a little while. And yeah, let's go back to our 8-day chart. So last week we talked about that we saw bluefin up here on the edge below the Channel Islands here, and that wind blew through, and we haven't seen them since. So it's safe to assume they slid back this way, and looking at how green that water went, they're not going to want to swim through this stuff right here. So for sure, they're definitely come back this way. You'll probably see even more volume of fish here up north as we see where they settle in next. But we're still seeing a really nice gathering of bluefin, on the 499 on this escarpment here, and it's been about 3 weeks now, so we'll see how that stuff holds up. But you can see how this cold water on the outside from that wind has created a nice temp break, and look for a lot of things to be set up along this in the next 4 or 5 days as things chill out here a little bit. Fishing at the Channel Islands has been still pretty decent for sea bass if you can get out there now that wind has come down. Guys are still scoring a couple really nice fish out there. Not like crazy volume of fish around, but good quality models. So that's always nice. Sand Nick, I haven't seen anybody come out to Sand Nick since the wind came down yet, uh, but hopefully we'll see something from there soon. SBI, still getting a little look at the sea bass. It seems like it turns on for 2 weeks, right around the full moon, and then shuts off for a couple weeks. People forget about it, and then all of a sudden it bites again 2 weeks later. So this has been the island for white sea bass, at least for SoCal, for the whole season. Aside from the Channel Islands, we haven't really seen a lot of sea bass action at Catalina like last year, or even really much coming from San Clemente Island either. But it is what it is. The yellowtail fishing at Cat seems to have kind of dried up here over the last couple days. After that wind blow, no one's really seen them, but they were last seen on the west end between Cat Harbor and the tip at the west end. Lots of boat traffic this weekend, so if you really want to focus on fishing, I would be avoiding this island. Just it's going to be a zoo, you know what happens. San Clemente Island, finally getting that proper yellowtail bite. I think it's been like 7 days in a row that it's bit, which is nice. It's about darn time, This is the stuff we expect in April. But we've still seen some fish down here from China Point to Pyramid Cove, but now we're seeing a good volume of fish along the front side. No crazy size fish, really up to like 20 pounds. There's a couple smaller ones in there too, but some of these sport boats like the Thunderbird are seeing 40 fish a day, that's about average. That's what we should be seeing at this time of year. So as always, those seals are going to be a problem, so be prepared. But everything's been biting on flatline sardine, surface iron, yo-yo. Mint seems to be a little bit more of a flavor lately. But yeah, all things are finally working at San Clemente Island. So if you're looking for yellows, that's probably a good spot. Coming down south, we had mentioned that there have been some squid down here at La Jolla, and there was some home guard yellows on it. Well, it appears that that squid got mopped up by a commercial boat, and those home guard yellows aren't really biting so much anymore. So you probably won't see much of those, but man, the guys that did score those, they're like in the 40-pound range. So really nice, good sized quality fish. Coronado, not a whole lot of word coming from the Nados lately. You can probably find a fish or two on the weather side. The water is definitely clean and it's looking good. Just has not been a lot of volume of fish this year, and with the abundance of seals, your chances of fishing offshore for stuff is a lot better than waiting for conditions to work at the island. So, but let's talk about offshore fishing. We already talked about this. Bluefin is basically locked in here on the escarpment. Let's switch back to the bottom detail. Most people have been fishing the east side here of the escarpment and find stuff even out to the mackerel bank, and occasionally on the front side here. Haven't seen a whole lot of people been working this side, but I guarantee there's going to be fish on this side too. I've seen it many times, both sides. If they're here, they're going to be on this side too. So don't give up, or if there's a lot of boat traffic, drive past it and check this side, especially this weekend, being a particularly more busy weekend. Moving down south, we've seen a really good sign of fish from basically the 302 to just below the upper finger here. You work in this canyon current here. There's been a good volume of fish. Now the size are going to vary a little bit. If you're looking for bigger bluefin, you have a much better chance up here. Coming down south, there's been a couple smaller schools of big bluefin around here. But most of this stuff from the 302 south is at like 20 to 60 pound grade. Maybe you might find a bigger one. But it's working for night bite and daytime action on fly line. Like 40-pound rig to 60-pound rig should get it done. Maybe bring a 80 to 100 if you see some bigger ones pop up. But for the most part, that's what's been happening here. Further down south, we're still seeing a little bit of this stuff scattered in here. And it's going to start working its way up. There has been some yellowfin mixed in by the upper finger to like the 425. Bluefin and yellowfin mixed in here. So we're just getting to where those water temps are going to be warm enough for those yellowfin to move in. So generally speaking, I know you can't see this thing here at the same time, but orange is 66, proper orange is 67, and getting to red is 68. But typically bluefin like prime bluefin is 68 to 60. Mixed is like that 68 to 70 degree water. And then you're going to see yellowfin pretty much solid from 72 degrees up. Generally speaking, not every time, but that's a good way to look at water temps and try and figure out what you're looking at here if you're not sure. But generally speaking, that's where these two species line up. But all right, guys, that's it for this week. I'll be out of town this weekend, but hopefully you can have a nice trip out there on the water. We got a bunch of West Coast jiggers in stock this week, and a big load of Mad Max also. So those will be going up on the website tomorrow. But other than that, have a safe weekend, guys, and we'll see you out there on the water. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out our website and online store at chasingprojects.com. And make sure you share the stoke.